Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've done a video and even longer since I've done a video on a book or movie, but we're here because I went to see The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes last week and I want to talk about it. So what you need to know about this movie is that it's about the 10th Hunger Games and about President Snow when he was 18. He becomes a mentor to the female District 12 tribute, Lucy Gray Baird, and they kind of fall in love, which honestly, who wouldn't? Because he was really good looking. um, but I'm not gonna do like a super in-depth review of like characters or anything like that. I just want to talk about it and parts I liked, basically. First off, capital costumes. I really liked them. I mean, I liked all the costumes in this movie. They were done very well, with attention to like character arcs and just like personalities, and it was good. It was good. Everything was like very thought out. But the capital costumes, a lot of them made me think of like the 1950s Dior's new look. You know, very like they have the peplum, like Tigress, Coriolanus Snow's cousin, Tigress. She wears one that's like very much 1950s inspired. I love it. So it's got the peplum and it's like a very tailored suit and then kind of a tailored skirt. And that I would say was like a popular look throughout the movie with the Capitol people. And I love that look. Like, I mean, I like the 1950s, but I think not akin, that's the wrong word. I'm partial, I'm partial to like the more tailored look, even if I don't always wear it. So Lucy Gray, on the other hand, her costumes were like the exact opposite of the Capitol. So while the Capitol you have tailored, you have sleek. It's very like, I want to say like rich materials, like thick. You know, you looked at them and you're like, it's probably expensive. Lucy Gray wore very like peasant core outfits. There was a lot of like embroidery and flowy shirts and flowy skirts. Very like, I just want to run and be free and wild. Like that was her aesthetic, which I love like thinking about this now. I'm like, oh, she would never fit into the Capitol because her aesthetic is completely different. Like the costumes just showed that very well. Now I know I've seen a lot of cosplayers do Lucy Gray's rainbow dress, which is like the dress she wears in the games. It's kind of her biggest one, I guess. And it's definitely a really cool dress, but I think I'm not really that aesthetic. I really liked Snow's stuff. I was more drawn as a cosplayer to Snow's outfits. He has 3 Capitol outfits and then he has a couple other ones. But his school uniform, I don't even know why I like it, but I really do. It's like a red suit and it has both a skirt and pants in one, and then like a blue shirt. And I don't know. I really like it. Sometimes I think about, I'm like, I could make that, except I don't like sewing suits at all. So the only costumes that I didn't like were Dr. Gall's. She was like the head game maker, I think. I didn't like her styles. She wore like looser tunics and they were kind of boxy. So as opposed to the rest of the Capitol, which was like form-fitting, or even Lucy Gray's, which was like honestly still kind of kept to the like hourglass structure, I guess, and like a very balanced look. Dr. Gall's were just like boxy and they had weird colors. Like her main dress is like a red to white ombre. It looks like a used tampon. It's not a good look. That those were the only costumes that I was like, huh, not a fan. But the rest of them were great. I loved them. I just want to talk about like some different scenes that made me go like, oh my gosh. Yes. The first one was they're in the arena, and Lucy Gray is surrounded by basically the first like careers pack. Like it's I think 4 of like the strongest people they made in a little alliance, and they're coming after Lucy. She has no weapon. She's not really a fighter. She's more of an entertainer. And So one of the things that the mentors can do is send water um, on drones. But the thing is, the drones are really crappy. They don't just come and sit down next to you very nicely like they do in like the original Hunger Games, right? They're not like those drones. They come flying at your face and you better duck or you'll die. And so Snow, he's not President Snow, Coriolanus Snow at this time, he just sends like a bunch of water in so that the drones like fly in, and it's so good.
So I'm editing this and realizing that I don't even explain what the water does. Basically, the drones are so wild and erratic in their flight that they force the other tributes who are about to kill Lucy. They force the other tributes like to duck and run away. Basically, that's what was going on there.
The other mentors are like, you can't do that. You can't attack the other tributes. And he's like, I'm just sending her water. Like, what an icon. Iconic. I love Snow. Never thought I'd say that reading the original trilogy, but so yeah, that was one of my favorite scenes. It was just another really good scene. Reaper, one of the tributes, I believe his partner dies, like the other tribute from his district. She dies, and he basically takes it upon himself to do like an act of rebellion within the arena. And so he takes up all the bodies of the already killed, like the fallen tributes, and he lines them up like neatly to honor them. And then he goes to the side of the arena where the flags of Panem are hanging, and he just rips one down. And that scene, it was so good. And then he covers the bodies with the flag, and he's like, how will you punish me now? Can you punish me now? And it was so good, and it's just so, I really liked it. Like, it's not really patriotism because it's not really like standing up for its country, but I don't know, just like the sense of justice he had. It was a very moving scene. It was also a well shot scene. Like when he rips down the flag, it's like viewed from above. It's just a really good shot. I'm like, ooh. Listen. Coriolanus Snow has he has done nothing wrong. What murder? He could do no wrong. Even if he did, I could fix it. He was just really good looking. He did a really good job. Both of the main actors, Rachel Zegler and Tom Blythe, I believe, did a really good job. They were fantastic in their roles. And they really made their characters endearing, and like I wanted to root for them. I did root for them, which is, I think, part of the reason I liked the movie more than the book. Now it has been a while since I read the book. I read it around the time it came out, so probably 2020, maybe 2021 at the latest. And I'm sorry to all the fans of the book. I hated it. It was so boring. I like forced myself to finish it, and I usually don't force myself to finish books that I hate, but I don't know. And I think part of the reason I didn't like the book was because I had the inner monologue of Snow, and there was no point in rooting for him. I mean, he sucked. And I guess I didn't really like Lucy in the book either, but I don't really remember much of her in the book. But in the movie, I think because I didn't have the constant like mental processes of Snow, it was easier for me to like understand him and root for him, and that was just made the whole experience more interesting, because what's the point if you can't even root for a character? Like, what's the point? Other characters that I really liked, Wovi. Okay, I didn't like love her, but I didn't want her to die. That was terrible. So yeah. So you should go watch this movie because it was really good, and the costumes are amazing. Everyone, all the actors and actresses were fantastic in their roles. Obviously, this I didn't even cover like the second half of the movie, but I really liked it. So, bye.